Hello, welcome to Arkadium's Daily Crossword Live. This is where we solve the world's best crosswords together every day, live on stream. I see Saint Dog on TikTok saying hello. Shania saying good morning, everybody. Let's tap, tap, tap the screen and share the live. I love that energy. Shania is the best hype person, always encouraging people to share and like. I love it. How you doing, Larry? Lock like to the live. All right, we are rolling. We are live on YouTube and TikTok and Facebook, and we've got a great puzzle, I'm sure, loaded up today. Fiona says, yo, I am thrilled to be back with you all solving a crossword. And let's see. So today we're solving an LA Times crossword. Remember, Arkadium recently acquired the rights to run LA Times puzzles, and they're fantastic. We've solved a few on stream and always enjoyed them. These don't have a title, so we'll have to figure out what's going on as we solve, but there will be a theme. And today's is by Roland Huget. Apologies to Roland for mispronouncing his last name. One across, Erie Canal City. How we looking here? I'm not sure. I feel like there are a lot of cities on the Erie Canal. Scav, yeah, when Scav's not sure, it's always a bad sign, because Scav seems to know everything. Lucky, hello to you. How you doing? All right, so when we're not sure, we check crosses. That is how crosswords work. Schooner filler. A schooner is a boat, right? A schooner is a boat, but what do you fill a boat with? I'm thinking like oil or gas, maybe, because you have to fuel it, but it's a little strange. Dennis on YouTube, hi to you. Oh, Maverick says ale. Oh, nice. Schooner is also a name of a type of glass. Very tricky. Okay, so we're starting off like that, huh? And then Fiona guessed Utica, and I think Shania likes Utica as well for the Erie Canal City. It fits nicely with ale, and it's 5 letters. Utica is a city in upstate New York. My aunt lives in Utica, so I visit often. Maybe I should have gotten it faster. Kevin says, what was the theme again? Or LA Times doesn't have one. Yeah, the LA Times crosswords don't have titles, so we'll have to figure out the theme on our own as we go. Okay, Utica crossing ale. I'm happy enough with this. Some park workers at one down. 4 letters starting with a U. What are we thinking here? Some park workers. I'm obviously thinking park rangers? Like, who else works at a park? Not sure. What, we could look at 2 across if this is too tricky. Scav always has the good ideas. Maverick also, and Shania. Okay, everyone has good ideas. Very nice. Carrie got it as well, and Lily. Yeah, umpires. We're talking ballpark here. Scav puts the little baseball emoji in chat. Okay, so now, honestly, between some park workers, and schooner filler, I'm getting a sense of what we're in for with this crossword. I think there's going to be a lot of tricky wordplay going on. Both of those were tough clues right out of the gate. Yeah, Shania, as in umpire for baseball, exactly. Yeah, that kind of park. Arkadium's like, nice, you guys are on a roll already. Yeah, I'm feeling that way too. This could have been a much slower start. Pinned distinction. Tess is writing medal. Yeah, I like that. Have you pin a medal on someone? Lucky giving me the Olympic medal. Oh, and Scav as well, the emoji. Okay. Things are looking good. And I know this person, Gar of Young Frankenstein. And if you've forgotten this person, solve a bunch of crosswords and you will be reminded, because this is not only a common person to show up, but a common clue for that person. Might as well look at 3 down as well. Survivor find. Any Survivor fans in chat? I watched the first couple seasons, but I think it's taken many turns since then. Barbara on Facebook, welcome back. Yeah, Barbara says Terry. Terry Gar is the actress in Young Frankenstein. Kevin says moral. Oh, pinned distinction, moral, interesting. Yeah, I think metal is working better with Terry, so we'll stick with it for now. And Larry and JC and N-Dog and Samuel all writing an idol. Yeah, an immunity idol. If you find one of these in Survivor, you can't get voted off that day, I think is how it works. Nice modern clue for idol. Storage tower. Okay, with 3 of the 4 letters in place, this one's not so tough. Maybe we look at 4 down as well. Weedle. Weedle. I feel like Weedle showed up in a grid a few weeks ago, and I vowed to use that word more often because it's kind of fun to say, and I have not been using it. I have not been using Weedle. And I sort of couldn't even give a really good definition of Weedle. I feel like Shania says, I wish there was a Canadian version of Survivor. How come? Why not watch what's wrong with the one that they have? Cajole, yeah. Lay and Lucky are writing cajole to wheedle. That looks good. I guess it means like to coax, kind of. And Silo was the storage tower. Makes a ton of sense. All right, let's look at 17 across. Most likely our first theme entry. It has an asterisk, which means it's definitely a theme entry. Sometimes they put a little star there so that later on they can refer to the starred clues, just so they don't have to list the locations of them all. All right, technical team supervisor. It's definitely looking like project something, right? Lily, thanks for liking the live. Oh yeah, Lily actually has a good guess as well. Technical team supervisor, project manager. Lily made it manager, so it would fit, but supervisor is distinctly singular, so I'm a little disturbed by the plural in managers. Management, Bam guesses? Maybe management. Yeah, Scav pointing out it's singular. Samuel, yeah, manager unfortunately doesn't work. So what are we thinking here? Also, it is a technical it's not just team supervisor, which I think project manager would cover. Technical team supervisor. Why is it technical? Kevin guesses supervisor. Yeah, but the problem with that is that supervisor is already in the clue, and it's very unlikely that they're going to put the same word that's in the clue in the answer as well. Scav says maybe the asterisk will explain it later on. That's a good point. It is thematic, so crosswords love to do wacky things with their words. Maverick says engineer, and then Tess says I like Amy's guess. What was Amy's guess? Engineer. Okay. All right. Maybe we're converging on engineer. I like engineer as well, largely because of the word technical. And engineers tend to be technical, and it fits. So let's go with that for now and see if the crosses check out. Board head. Board head. 5 letters starting with a C. Yeah, Scav also guesses overseer, project overseer. Similar to manager in that I like that engineer gets at this technical word. I feel like this was put there intentionally. Lucinda says chair for board head. I like that. Yeah, you chair a board. Amy and Lucky also like chair. Yeah, it looks perfect. Check the H. Group taken for a drive. And we got a question mark. Question mark indicates we should never be reading this clue at face value. We're not literally going to be taking anyone for a spin in our car in this clue, but I don't know exactly what it's getting at. Dennis on YouTube also guessed chair for 18 down. Nice work. What is it? Scav is giving me an emoji. Is that a chair? I have to get so close sometimes to see these emojis against the dark background. Take someone for a ride. Yeah. So Lay says hike. Lucky says hogs, which is an interesting guess because hogs are like motorcycles, right? Group taken for a drive? Maybe. Let's see. Barbara says haul. Scav says herd, like a cattle drive? Huh. Angie, hi to you. Angie's back on YouTube. Glad to have you here. Yeah, herd is interesting. The nice thing about herd is that it definitely earns this question mark, you know, because that's not your first thought when you see the word drive, but a cattle drive is a thing, so maybe it's herd. Yeah, Shania asking for 6 down, maybe that'll help us. Good point. Let's check 6 down. Gave a thumbs down. Gave a thumbs down. Pre-everlasting, or Pris, gave a heart. I'm going to interpret that as a thumbs up, not a thumbs down. Thanks. All right, gave a thumbs down. Kind of tough. Maybe like rated something. Florence says detested. Interesting. Detested. It does fit. Not sure though. What do we think? Accepted. All right, more crosses. More crosses. True in Italian. All right, who speaks Italian? Not I. Not I. Oh, Ndog has a guess that Lucky and Amy both like. Voted nay. Wow. Gave a thumbs down, voted nay, like that. It fits. And it works. Like, if you're going like this, that's your vote. Wow. I kind of hope that's right. And V starting a word that means true actually kind of checks out. I'm thinking like verity. Shania says vero. Is that okay? A bunch of people now coming in. Amy and Jay saying vero. So I don't know Italian, but I totally believe that this is how you say true in Italian. Yeah, nice work, Ndog, on getting voted an A. Wow. With just the TE in place as well. At all at 7 down. E blank ER. Okay, that's looking reasonable. Amy and Tina, quick on that one with ever. Quick as ever, you two. And by the way, these downs are also working with herd. So herd, I think Scav got this one. Group taken for a drive as a herd. It was referring to cattle drive after all. Nice clue. All right, we're rolling. Just the right amount of resistance. I like when it's not easy peasy, but I like making progress. Female gamete at 15 across. Hello, AJ. How you doing? Female gamete crossing, texter's gasp. Texter's gasp. What do we got? Oh, I see. Amy Gal writes, and I was thinking she was just hesitating. She was going to follow it up with, something. But, oh, it won't let me put the whole word, really? Is that censored? That's surprising. Yeah, ovum. Singular for ova, female gamete. And that gives us texter's gasp is OMG, which makes a lot of sense. Cool. Cool. People just writing in chat. It makes me think everyone's like, Jack, you're missing something. 8 down. First hip-hop group to have music videos on MTV. Interesting trivia clue. Yeah, that's got to be Run DMC. Nice. I wouldn't have been able to tell you this about Run DMC, but I totally believe it, and it's a nice fact. Also a good crossword entry because you don't get NDMC next to each other in words very often, so I enjoy seeing this. Let's check 25 across. Sky Streakers. Kevin on YouTube got Run DMC. Nice work to you. And Angie did as well. Everyone knows Run DMC. Let's see. Shania writes at Shania. What's that about? Sky Streakers. Yeah, I like Maverick's guess and Without Limits, and Samuel writing meteors. It's a nice image. Meteors streaking through the sky, shooting stars. Venkat on YouTube also got meteors. Nice work. And Scav giving me, oh, we got 2 emojis. An actual meteor emoji, it looks like, from JC. All right, let's check this I blank T. MC's piece. MC's piece. What do we got going on here? Yeah. Jilly, hello to you. How you doing? Nice. Florence and Lucinda and Lucky and Lay all writing intro. Yeah, an MC's piece is an intro. MC's come out first, warm up the crowd a little bit. Jilly, thanks for the heart. Intro looks great. Venkat also new intro. Nice work, Venkat. Google Books blank viewer. Tool that tracks word usage frequency. Huh, interesting. Very interesting. Scav is like, so this is what the LA people do. Yeah, we're solving the LA Times crossword. And I guess they have a lot of MCs in LA. Stage folk warming up crowds. Google Books blank viewer. I think I know this one, actually. Unusual crossword entry. But it is a tool I have used before. Pre-everlasting guesses notes, which does make some sense with the clue, but I think it just happens to be wrong. Amy's like, I don't know. Is it notes? Shania. I think Shania's got it. Yeah, good work. It's an engram. An engram is a term just meaning like a certain set of consecutive letters. So if you want to use this tool, Google Books Engram Viewer, you can search like all the books to see which ones have this word, and you can track them over time to see how word usage changes over time. It's an interesting tool. Kind of a cool modern clue. Tess likes Engram. Yeah, nice. All right, we're still rolling. Expected results. Expected results. What do we think? Yeah, Shania says engram like in corpus analysis. It's a string of letters. Exactly. An engram is a string of letters. And if you want to analyze a whole corpus of books, maybe you want to see track word usage over time. Jilly likes, norms for expected results. I like it as well. And it fits nicely with what we have already. Love it. Arkadium says, Shania, you always have amazing facts to give us each day. It's so true. Shania is always bringing the knowledge. The 411 at 16 across. The 411. Who's got that slang? Yeah, people know this one. Shania says, thank you, I'm a vocabulary nerd. It's a good phrase. Fiona writes, info. Yeah, the 411 is slang for info. Barbara on Facebook and Kevin on YouTube also got info. Nice work, guys. And Ria is here, also telling us info. Amy says, never heard that slang before. Really? Yeah, the 411. I'm guessing, I think it used to be that you could dial 411 to get information, to actually get information, but I might be wrong about that. Sorry to say. Yeah, Lucinda and Without Limits are saying, I fear something bad has happened. Sorry to say. What's this? 11 down, Anyo start. Yeah. Florence and Samuel also get an I fear. Nice work. Año start. So año means year in Spanish. Barbara also says, what's the 411? Are you asking what the slang is, or are you using it in a sentence? Like, what's the 411? Did you get the info? Yeah, Tina confirming it was on the phone. It was information you could get by dialing 411. Scav says, yay, Spanish. Do you speak Spanish? Enero looks perfect for this because enero is January, the word for January in Spanish. So a year would start with January. Very nice. 10 across, hippie event. Interesting. Hippie event. Anyone know this one? It's kind of I haven't seen this in a crossword in a while. I haven't thought about it in a while, but I'm pretty sure I know it. Fiona knows it. Maybe Fiona's the only one who knows it. Yeah, be in. Be in. Shania knows it, Tina knows it, and Everlasting knows it. Yeah, be in. I think it was at one specific event, or were there multiple be-ins? And it was kind of this hippie gathering. I think the name is a play on like a sit-in, which is a protest. So it's kind of half protest, half like lovey-dovey hippie stuff. And a bunch of poets were there and musicians. Amy's like, not up on my hippie stuff. Scav says, be in sounds so hippie. It's really true. It's like, we're not going to sit in, we're just going to be. Oh, Fiona says Central Park every year, really? I should check it out. Lucinda says, I wasn't thinking 2 words, which is pretty fair. In a 4-letter entry, they're not usually just 2 words. 10 down, watched an entire season of, say. Yeah, I think we're all guilty of this. Binged something. Lucky says binged it. JC says binged it. Yeah. Could be binged on, I guess. But Larry, thanks for all the hearts. Yeah, Amy's saying binged on or binged it. We had different votes in chat. We'll keep it for now because I think that was a majority. But what are you guys binging these days? Survivor? Special occasion mailing. Okay, this is our second starred clue. Special occasion mailing. I like the look of this C blank RD at the end. Julie says I'm binging The Pit as we speak. I have heard great things about that show, but I'm a little medically squeamish, so I think it's not for me. But everyone just has glowing things to say. Scaff says Bear season 4 just came out. Yeah, and The Bear is a great show. A little foreshadowing. We have the Bear themed crossword in the pipeline for Arkadium's Daily Crossword Live, so look out for that. Barbara's binging The Walking Dead. Ooh, that's gonna take you a while. There's a lot of Walking Dead. Okay. So Arkadium's given credit to Shania as the first one. I'm seeing a lot of people, JC, Larry, and Tess, and Samuel all saying greeting card, which looks perfect with the letters we have and with the clue. Yeah, greeting card. Look at that. Fits perfectly. Special occasion mailing. Okay, so we have project engineer and greeting card. Just taking a moment to mull this over to see if any theme is occurring to me. I'm not really seeing a pattern just yet. Since they're starred, it makes me think that there's going to be some explainer answer somewhere later in the puzzle. So maybe we just wait out for that. Kevin says too much Walking Dead, if you ask me. There is a lot of it. There is a lot of it. Because there's so many spin-off shows now, too. Go ahead at 23 across. Yes. Scav and Amy and Samuel and Florence all saying lead. That makes sense. And the Geometry Dash series on YouTube says lead as well. What is Geometry Dash? Is that a game? Sounds up my alley. Venkat says, I live in Boston, and some of these LA Times words culturally feel very far away, rightly so. That's interesting. Yeah. I mean, the LA Times and the New York Times are two prominent crosswords, and they're on opposite coasts of the country, and you do get a little bit of a different vibe from them. I guess they're appealing to their base. Although, what in this puzzle in particular made you feel like it was particularly LA? I'm curious. Okay. Uh-oh, the Geometry Dash series says, oh my god, you don't know Geometry Dash? Oh no. I think I'm in trouble. Ellipsis alternative. Everyone on TikTok is saying, etc. Yeah, JC and Jilly, etc. Scav giving me the ellipsis. Now the Geometry Dash says, don't worry, haha, it's fine. Okay, I should look it up, though. I mean, clearly you named yourself after it, or maybe you are the owner of Geometry Dash? Kevin says the MC question made him think of LA. Yeah, fair enough. Oh, and Twink on TikTok is saying Geometry Dash is kind of a rhythm game. You are a block and you jump over spikes and other stuff. Ah, okay. Julie says, be careful, they're going to revoke your math card. I know. I call myself a math person, and yet I don't know what Geometry Dash is. 32 across. We got a blended juice prefix, and Fiona and Lucky saying crayon. Yeah, like crayon apple, crayon grape, as Scav points out. Very nice. Lucky also saying Geometry Dash is a game that brings me so much rage. Really? I guess a lot of good games. Doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad game. That means you're invested, right? But apparently everybody knows what Geometry Dash is except for me. Is it actually mathematical, or does it just look geometric and that's why they named it that? Poppin'. Scav is like, it's lit, fam. Yeah, I think you're right. I guess Tina says rad. True, it could be rad. Lit is a little more modern, and poppin' sounds, and this party's poppin', this party's lit. Let's check the crosses. Twink says, no, the geometry is just the shapes in the game. Okay. Showy flower, briefly. It has geometric shapes that you try to avoid. All right, I gotta check this game out, I guess. It'll make me rageful, I'm told. Showy flower, briefly. Okay, everyone in chat, Ria and Scav and Tina are saying glad. but I don't get it. But everyone seems to know it. Gladiola, Larry says? Is this... Julie says glad for gladiola. Interesting. Wow, of all the clues for glad, like glad is a word. That's tough. Tough for me, at least. Not tough for you guys. Way off at 37 across. I was way off on this showy flower. Would have taken me crosses only. Yeah, without limits and lay are both saying afar for way off. Looks right to me. Shania's like, why be sad when you can be glad? Yeah. That could be our motto here. They're tall with multiple flowers per stem, and they're pretty, says Lucinda. Kevin says, how does briefly relate to glad, though? Yeah, so it's actually that I think the name of the flower is gladiola, people are telling me, which is also a flower I frankly haven't heard of. But then, yeah, briefly means that you make it short, you shorten the word. So I guess people sometimes call these flowers glads for short. That's why briefly is in the clue, because it's short for gladiola. Abbreviated. Okay. Yeah. Samuel Gonzalez and Florence are both saying rife for widespread. That looks perfect. And what do we have here? Ooh. My French pronunciations are quite bad, but Le Blanc, c'est moi. And it's a quote from Louis XIV. Having 3 letters in place helps. Yeah, AJ writes état. I'm guessing this means I am the state. Is that what that means? État means state in French, and moi means me. Is that what it is? I am the state? Okay, indirect root at 42 across. Indirect root. With DET in place, this is looking doable. Someone whose username is just D, and someone else is Sigma. We got 2 letters in chat. Detour. Yeah, looks good. D is for detour, indirect root. And where do we go next? Let's go up here. Have something. AJ says, is this an LA Times puzzle? It is. It's today's LA Times crossword. Lucinda giving me all the arrow emojis to indicate that we're detouring. I love it. Johnny, thanks for sharing the live. If anyone has family or friends who love crosswords, bring them here. All right, TikTok chat is really flowing now. A lot of people saying each for have something makes sense. Kind of a vague clue, but once we have EA in place, not so hard to see, I guess. Mercury wanted toilet for 33 across. I don't think it quite fits with the clue. And Kausera Ahmed, thank you for sharing. Oh no, Lucky's trying to start a fight. I know what you're doing. F1, thanks for the heart. Okay, tough. It's quotes. Fiona's saying skibbity. What are we doing? We're losing. We're going all over the place. Oh, skibbity toilet. No, it's not toilet. The clue is tough. But I don't get it. Toiled, people say. I don't quite get that, though. David's saying, I think we got one wrong, because there's people saying tomato. I don't get tomato either. Whoa, all right. We weren't sure about this, it's true. Watched an entire season of, binged it, but we thought it could have been binged on. Yeah, binged on to watch an entire season. And tough. Maybe too bad. Too bad looks good. Yeah, Amy Gal likes it. All right, that was a little tough. But we course corrected. I'm feeling good. And Geometry Dash really wants me to look at 39 across and insists that it's going to be U, Y-O-U. Unfortunately, I think the guess didn't pan out this time. It was a reasonable guess from looking ahead. Rain, thanks for sharing the live. Scav is saying, yow! Yeah, that looks better. That's smart, it's yow! Ouch! Sari likes yow. We're getting a lot of exclamations in chat now. Okay. Let's do this little corner here, and then we'll go back to the center. Staff member, and we got a question mark. So it's going to be something punny. Staff member. What do we got? People still guessing the center. No, let's try to stay over here. Larry Locke says note. It's a very clever idea. Staff member. Nice clue. Staff being the musical staff, like the 5, horizontal lines, or 6. I think it's 5, where the notes live. Very nice. Debvox knew that, and as did Lucky. I like it. AJ's like, oh, a musical staff, lol. Yeah, these puzzles had a lot of these nice misdirecting clues. I always enjoy them. They make you feel smart as a solver, right? Tess is like, that was lost on me. Yeah, that was the idea. Rain, thanks for following us. Thank you so much. If anyone else is watching and not a follower, do consider following us. We do this every day. We're here every day at noon with a new puzzle, and it's always a good time. If you follow us, it really helps us keep the show going, but also helps you, remind you of when we're streaming. Shania says, I love how we're kind of staying very organized in this crossword. I'm trying to keep us on track, but people keep, people guessing 30 down already. We haven't looked at the clue yet. Lisa, thanks for following us. Okay, body positivity is looking good for 34 down. Barbara likes body positivity. And slip into at 48 across. Avalanche, thanks for following us. Thank you so much. Slip into. Brian says dip, and Mercury says dawn. I think dawn is a little better because to don means to put clothes on, like to slip into a sweater. Straddling, 35 down. And the other one is slight progress. Okay. Things are looking reasonable. Mercury says, I don my hat. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, several people on YouTube were guessing dip. Maybe it'll turn out to be dip, although having peeked at these downs, I am kind of liking dawn more and more. Team Matzo says, make a dent in something. Exactly. Slight progress is to make a dent. And then Angie on YouTube and Barbara on Facebook both saying a top. A top. All right, this is looking perfect. AJ says, y'all, yesterday I found out I'm going to be an uncle. So excited. Hey, congratulations. That's very happy news. Very happy news. Kevin is asking about dent. Yeah, slight progress is like to make a dent in something. It's kind of a metaphor. To make a dent in your work is to make slight progress. Everyone in TikTok chat congratulating AJ Bradley. Makes me happy. Dysentery Gary says, wow, I'm really late. Not too late, though. We still haven't even figured out the theme. We're only about halfway. So you could say you're right on time. Place of monumental achievement at 49 across. Barbara on Facebook, I think, is given emojis to congratulate AJ Bradley. Cross-platform chats. Oh, Debvox has a gorgeous guess for this. Oh, 2 good guesses. Okay, Without Limits is Burial Crypt. And what was it? AJ Bradley, but also Debvox was the first person to say Ancient Egypt, which I really like. And it fits. Okay, Ancient Egypt, place of monumental achievement. The joke is that they've built amazing monuments in Ancient Egypt. They achieved the amazing with their pyramids and sphinx and whatnot. Looks perfect. Cool. Good entry, but still, what is this theme? Project Engineer, Greeting Card, and Ancient Egypt. What do these have in common? Again, since they're starred, I'm guessing there's going to be an explainer somewhere, so we can just wait. Dysentery Gary says I before E except after C. C-I-E. Maybe. Okay, Garden Sentinel. Yeah, someone earlier in chat, but Amy and Tess now and Efon saying gnome. It's something cute about calling it a sentinel. I think we should bring back garden gnomes. Haven't seen one in a while. Perfume application, 4 letters starting with an M. And then Mercury says 44 down might be RCS, aka the messaging thing. Where's 44 down? 44 down, why can't... Oh, here. Happy on YouTube got gnome as well. Lucky says I've got 5 garden gnomes. Really? The sentinels of your garden? I wish you could send a pic of your garden. I want to see it. Little Red Zilla, which is a fun username, says mist. Also a nice entry. Just picturing walking through a mist of perfume. AJ says mist is smart. Yeah, I like it as well. Decimal value of hexadecimal A. Okay, this is a little bit mathy for me. Mercury really wants credit for 44 down. We'll get there. I'll go there next, I promise, after we sort this one out. Oh, Melissa Bogle, Renee Brown. We got new names in chat. I'm loving it. Someone named NJD, all saying 10. Yeah. Ten is represented with an A in the hexadecimal number system. Fun fact. Classic TV brand. Oh, who was it? I've already forgotten. I'm so sorry. Gotta scroll back. Mercury wanted RCS. RCs, probably. But yeah, unfortunately, Mercury, I think it wasn't your guess. Wasn't your entry. Next time. RCA is the classic TV brand. Yeah. You'll get them next time, Mercury. Ooh. Gotta make sure this crossword stays centered. Okay, looking good. Shania coming in with her ever useful facts. Radio Corporation of America. Okay, I didn't know that. Like some expectations. Like some expectations. Yeah, Sari and Tina are saying unmet. Scav wrote it with a sad face. It's true, it is kind of sad. You guys always meet my expectations. Exceed them, in fact. Barbara got RCA. Deserves good credit for it. Sleep Aid of Folklore. Dysentery Gary asks for the title of the puzzle. This is an LA Times crossword that we're solving, and they don't have titles. So we are without a paddle here. We have 3 starred entries so far, and we really haven't been able to make sense of it. Arkadium says there is no theme today. I want to challenge that language and say there's no title. There is definitely a theme. There's no title. There's going to be a theme of some sort. Yeah, Scav predicts that it'll be explained by 63 across. That's my prediction as well. Okay, Sleep Aid of Folklore. Little Red Zilla writes Sandman. Good entry. Yeah, the Sandman comes and what, like sprinkles sand on kids to make them fall asleep? It's kind of creepy. Consumer Reports Task. Consumer Reports Task. What do we got? What do we got? Jilly sent a gift. Oh, a gift of pharaoh headwear. Very appropriate for ancient Egypt. Nice, Jilly. Maverick and Team Matzo and Melissa all say road maps. Geometry series got Sandman as well. Nice work. Very nice work. Road maps. I like Gypsy's guess of road test. Because Consumer Reports, they run tests on cars and different products, right? Happy guess is road show. I suppose it could be. Road test is my favorite guess so far. Team Matzo likes it. Little Red Zilla likes it. So let's stick with it for now. AJ's like, I get road rage. User12, thanks for following us. Okay, so we're happy with road test. Geometry Dash likes road test. Let's move along. Okay, dressed to the... And ASD is asking, can we see 56 across first? Sure. Let's look at 56 across. Top tier. Nicholas, thanks for following us. Scav just puts a bunch of the digit 9 in chat. Yeah. Dressed to the 9s. Sorry, I keep scrolling my crossword. No, it looks pretty centered right now. Yeah, dressed to the 9s. If I were wearing one of those Pharaoh caps, you might describe me that way. Top tier, elite. Looks great. And Shania coming in with more... Oh, ancient... Okay, so Shania, I think, is taking a guess at the theme. Ancient Egyptian project management and greeting card design plan. Execute and resource management. I don't know, this feels like a stretch to me. Okay. Should we look at 63 across? See if it's a big reveal? Arkadium says Arkadium is elite. Yeah, you're not biased at all, but it's true. Arkadium is elite. They bring us the best crosswords. Mercury, you got it. Nice. Echo Assistant looks like Alexa. I have an Alexa, and I hope I don't activate her by accident while talking about this. Very nice. Should we check the X? Lines that cross at 0, 0. Ah, another mathy clue for me. Lines that cross at the origin on an XY plot. Nicholas writing tenet a bunch. I don't know where that's supposed to go. Oh, I see. At 63 across, is that the idea? Mercury says, I love math. That's awesome. Jilly says, every time I send you an interactive gift, it doesn't work. Is that because you have a split screen? Oh, I don't know. I don't know. I'm monitoring chat on something called TikTok Monitor, which maybe is not the normal way because I'm not on my phone. I'm not sure why. I still appreciate your gifts, Jilly. Always. Unknown Stuntman says axes. Yeah, lines that cross at 0, 0 are axes. The x-axis and the y-axis cross at the origin. Barbara got it. Happy on YouTube. And Kevin got it. And Venkat on YouTube. Okay, everyone on YouTube knew that one. Very nice. All right, let's look at 63 across. Okay, it does look like an explaining entry. Change studied by evolutionary biologists, or what can be found in the answer to each starred clue. Whoa. Change studied by evolutionary biologists, or what can be found in the answer to each starred clue. Okay, so we have project engineer, greeting card, and ancient Egypt. Voiceless Scream says genetic something. It'd definitely be studied by evolutionary biologists, and it fits genetic something. Gene transformation. A little too long. Genetic material. Genetic evolution. Okay, what are we thinking here? I'm trying to make sense of this. Mutations. Okay, Ellie and Brandon both like mutation. Genetic mutation. Okay, it fits. It's definitely something that it would be studied by evolutionary biologists. Unknown Stuntman liked the live. Thank you. Florence. Oh, Florence is pointing out mutation can be like anagrams. I see. Okay, good. Look, the word genetic, oh my god, the word genetic is mutated inside all of these entries. Project engineer, look at this. You can see the letters in genetic all in the center here. Greeting card, yep, there they are. Genetic, all of these letters. And ancient Egypt, yep, starting with the G, we got genetic hidden right there. So in all of these entries is a genetic mutation. That is wild. Very fun. Dysentery Gary's like, oh my gosh. Yeah, Lay says it's beautiful. I totally agree. Voiceless Scream says, nice catch on mutation chat. Team Matsu says, wow, that's a cool theme. That's so smart, says Lucky. Nicholas says, at Lucinda, you're too smart for me, sister. I love that. Florence says I'm usually awful at anagrams, which is why I can't do cryptics. Cryptic crosswords do require a lot of anagrams, but you were the one who caught on today, right? That mutation was getting into. Yeah, Vencat on YouTube says amazing, and Angie says cool. What that thing do says dang. All right, everyone's digging this theme. I'm happy with it as well. Shania says listen is an anagram for silent. That's nice. Very nice. Very nice. That was worth the wait, because I had no idea. We had all these starred entries, and the themers were totally reasonable, but like, what did they all have in common? It turns out they did have something very hidden in common. Shoemaker's form, crossing love story novelist, the last letter in this section. Everyone says cast. I guess makes sense. A cast for a shoemaker. Is this a person? Love story novelist. Strange looking name. Julie, thanks for the rose. I don't know if that was supposed to be interactive, but I appreciate it nonetheless. Fiona says Seagal, which looks a lot more like a name. Sari says Seagal as well. What is last? Shoemaker's form. Does this make sense? I can't. Fiona knows the first name, and that always makes me have confidence in the person. Fiona's dropping Eric Seagal in chat as the love story novelist. What is last for Shoemaker's form? Does this make sense to anyone? I'm just a little disturbed. I'm kind of checking the crosses. Team Matsu says, I think it's Seeger. Rast? Voiceless Scream says, L makes more sense, but no idea what last has to do with cobblers. Yeah, I don't know either. Okay, maybe we move on, and if we don't get the confetti, we will know to come back here to look for an error. Melissa says I Googled it. Okay, what does it make sense? What is last? Florence is like, rast seems worse. Yeah, rast is definitely not a word I've seen before. AJ saying, could shoemaker be a name? That's an interesting idea. I've definitely known some shoemakers. Barbara is saying it's tasked. Oh no. I don't think this has happened on my stream before. We were just really are totally stumped. What is a last as a noun, says Team Matzo. Okay. But Little Red Zilla confirms Seagal wrote love stories, so maybe we move on. And Jay Spring says it's a vintage wooden last. Riaz says it's a shoe form. Oh, it's the foot-shaped mold, says Bibliophile. Oh, I can picture those like wooden feet that you put into shoes, I guess, to keep the shoe spread out. Is that the idea? Is that called a last? Texas Mom says it's a foot mold. Wow, never heard of it. This crossword just taught me something. I've definitely seen those wooden feet. It's called a last. Wow. Between that and cluing glad as a brief flower, tough clues in this puzzle. All right, let's move on. I trust you guys that last is correct. And we only got a kind of 1.5 sections left in this crossword. Jilly says, I thought it was called a shoe stretcher. Yeah, that would be a more descriptive name for sure. DebVox, Geometry Dash Series also says it is last. Okay. JC writes, ink cap for mushroom that drips black liquid. Ink cap. Wow. Interesting entries in this puzzle. And good theme, too. Mercury's like, I have no idea. I don't know fungi. The clue was so descriptive, dripping black liquid, that it makes me think ink cap is probably right. Mushrooms have caps, and if ink is a black liquid. Hometown proud food market chain. Renee Brown and Steve Sutherland say IGA. Yeah. Chain of supermarkets. What do we got? What do we got? Lope or canter? Scav says, where are those? Yeah, there are not a lot of IGAs near me in the Northeast. I think maybe they're more common in the Midwest US, but chat should definitely correct me. Do you guys have an IGA near you? Does anyone shop at them? Ria and Jilly and DebVox saying gate. Yeah, Angie on YouTube likes IGA as well for 64. Lay pointing out, these are types of walks. A loper, a canter are both types of walks. So gait. Cool. P-Bird says, we have some IGAs in Texas. Okay. Tina says, I have 2 nearby. Fiona said I had one in Syracuse back in the day. I don't think I've ever shopped at one, but I've seen them. Angie says, not me, never seen them. Building units at 70 across, and building is abbreviated, so the answer, Rand, is giving us apartments, also abbreviated. Looks right. Drop at 58 down. Crossing, Hawaiian coffee region. Hawaiian coffee region. Voiceless Scream was quick on that one. Also, a very eerie username. What do we got? Omit. Yeah. Omit looks right for drop. And Jay Sprink says Kona is the coffee region. I've never been, but I would like to. Oh, and Miranda Furl is noticing wingnuts at 40 down. Yeah, another interesting entry. I'm enjoying this crossword a lot. Hand-tightened fasteners are wingnuts. Those are the nuts that have the little wings on them so that you can screw them with your fingers. Very cool. And what's this? Summer ermine. Arkadium says another Hawaii clue. Lol. Yeah. Although they're not usually, it's not usually Kona, right? It's usually Maui or Oahu. Oahu is the most common. Crosswords love them vowels. Mercury, nice work. Mercury got stoked. Yeah, stoat and an ermine, I think, are the same animal. I'm not sure why it says summer. And they look kind of like ferrets. Angie says, I know some people who are wing nuts. You and me both, Ange. No longer here, 55 across. Yeah, that looks right. Okay, JC already given me gone. Nicholas saying gong, but I'm assuming that was a autocorrect issue. All right, only one more section left in this fun crossword. Location label. Location label is our foray into this last corner. Yeah, I don't think gong was intentional. No longer here, it has to be gone. Sari writing a geotag. Another interesting entry. Location label, a geotag, geographic tag. Birds associated with wisdom at 59 across. Definitely know this one. Definitely know this one. Scav giving me the emoji. You guys are quick with the emojis. I don't know how you find them so fast. And Renee, an unknown stuntman, saying owls. Yeah, owls are known for being wise. I don't know if they actually are. Oh, Voice of Scream says on the Gong Show, the gong meant you're out. But yeah, gone is better. Oh, so maybe gong was actually the guess for no longer here. Mercury says I was first on my screen. All right, Mercury gets full credit for owls. No credit for anybody else. Lay, thank you for the heart. 60 down, product that gets pressed into service. Agostino Andy on YouTube says hi. Hi to you. You like crosswords? Diana, thanks for following us. Makes me very happy when people follow. It lifts me every time. Efon writes wine. Another cute clue. Literally, wine gets pressed. The grapes get pressed to produce wine. Lucinda giving me that wine emoji, and Mercury says it's grape juice that is old. Yes. It's much less appetizing when you describe it that way. Wow, Jilly's got 3 different wine-related emojis. We got the grapes, it looks like a carafe, and a wine glass. And Rand tossing in some champagne. Why not? Epiphany cry. I think we had one of these when genetic mutation finally dawned on all of us. We were all saying, aha! It's exactly how it felt. Yeah, F1 says grape juice that is matured. It's a little more appetizing. Shania says, I don't even know which wine I'm going to buy this week. These are the important decisions, Shania. Capital on the Red River. Yeah, everyone writing Hanoi. Shania confirming Hanoi is the capital of Vietnam. So that looks perfect. Only 2 letters left. Scav's giving me the Vietnamese flag. We got a diving bird. All right, 2 birds in this last section. Jay Spring says, there's some smart folks in this room. I know. Every time, honestly, the Arkadium's Daily Crossword Live has the smartest viewers. Jesse Valdez and Brandon Kaplan both say loon for the diving bird. Yeah. Looks great. And what is this last thing? Agitated state crossing contract negotiator. Okay, 1 letter left. 1 letter left. Yeah, pre-everlasting or pris-everlasting. Team Matzo. Okay, it's going to be agitated state as a snit. When you're in a snit, you're all agitated. And a contract negotiator, your agent might negotiate your contract. All right. This is the moment of truth. We were kind of confused about if last is, in fact, the name of those wooden shoes. We will find out soon whether we get the confetti or not. Tessa's giving me a drum roll. Lucky's giving me a drum roll. While I have you hostage, if you're watching and you're not following us, do please consider following wherever you're watching. It really helps us continue the show, and it helps remind you that we're here every single day. Every day at noon Eastern time, we're here solving awesome crosswords, so do consider following us. I'm going to put a T in and see if we get some confetti. Nice. Very good. Little Red Zilla, thanks for following. Jay Sprink, thanks for following. Chris Everlasting, Apple Muffin. Woo, we're getting lots of followers. Voiceless Scream, you guys are the best. Krish. Apple Muffin send in a heart. Wow, love you guys. This is a really fun crossword. Genetic mutation. Literally mutating genetic in all of these phrases. And the phrases are not, it's a long word to be anagramming, and the phrases are not weird or unusual. Project engineer, greeting card, ancient Egypt, all totally legitimate phrases and hiding this anagram of this long word. I really enjoy it. And just lots of good misdirecting clues today, some interesting long entries. And I just learned that Alast is the name of those wooden feet that you put in shoes. Alast. That was the most interesting fact I learned today, and the day's not even over. I had a great time. We will be back tomorrow. Please join us. And check out Arkadium.com in the meantime. They have awesome crosswords like this one and lots of other games as well. So do check out Arkadium. They always are a good time. See you all soon. Looking forward to it.